Welcome back. Europe is extending the up move from yesterday. Yesterday, European markets ended with gains of close to about 1% for the benchmark indices, and today they're higher by close to about 0.3 to 0.4%. So the upward momentum and the trajectory continues over there.
All right, let's move on then. Before we do that, just pull up the intraday chart of KRBL. Remember, we just had the management clarifying to us that the reason for the change of auditors was not that there were red flags that were raised by the previous auditor, but in fact they stated that some investors, they said, why don't you go ahead and change, and according to them, to appoint a more credible name. And post that clarification, in fact, the stock was down nearly around 7 to around 8%. Now, post that clarification, the stock is more or less flattish. The promoter joined us here on CNBC TV and told us that there were no red flags raised, but there was no sense in keeping two auditors, and that's why one of them did resign. But moving on to a CNBC TV exclusive then, we learned from sources that lenders of the Essar Steel are seeking submission of dues of delinquent subsidiaries to remain eligible to bid by tonight. Ritu Singh, she's joining in with all those details. Ritu, fill us in.
Well, Nigel, you remember the 4th October order in the Essar Steel case had made it very clear that both the bidders, that is New Metal as well as ArcelorM, would have to repay the dues of their delinquent subsidiaries if they want to remain eligible to even submit a bid for Essar Steel. Now, that 2-week deadline given by the Supreme Court ends on the 18th of October, actually by the midnight of tonight, and by then, both of the players will have to repay dues if they want to remain in the game. Now, as far as ArcelorM is concerned, it had deposited 7,000 crore rupees in a current account at State Bank of India, London, but we understand from sources, it recently wrote to the Committee of Creditors saying that the dues owed for KSS Petron and Uttam Galva only around 4,500 crore rupees. Of course, the lenders did clarify that the amount is closer to 7,000 than to 45. So it remains to be seen how much Arcelor actually ends up paying. But as far as New Metal is concerned, lenders believe it is unlikely that they will pay up the entire overdue amount for not just Essar Steel, but also all related companies to the promoters, that is the Roya family. The creditors of Essar Steel had clarified to New Metal that the dues owed only for Essar Steel are over 38,000 crore rupees, plus the other dues that would be owed from other companies. But so far, New Metal has showed no sign of offering to repay those dues, and therefore lenders believe that it is unlikely they will be part of this fresh round of bidding. VTB and JSW, both of which had partnered New Metal, are unlikely to go along with them and are both exploring options to bid solo. Remember, once these dues are cleared, lenders are expecting bids to come in, not just from New Metal if it does repay, and ArcelorM, but also Vedanta, which many say could be the dark horse in this race.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Get into a break. Up next, we'll turn our attention in the big numbers expected today. We spoke about Reliance Jio, but you've also got ACC, Havells and other mid-cap companies reporting numbers. Details on the other side.